In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the belt sander. Let's do this. I'm Jenny with Roots and Wings Furniture and Home, and today we are going to talk all about the belt sander. This is a tool that you may not use very often, but when you need it, it can come in really handy. This is especially good for outdoor wood projects, or sanding down reclaimed wood, or getting off a finish that is just really thick where you need a little bit of extra power, more power perhaps than your pad sander. So this is definitely a useful tool. Like I say, I pull it out probably a couple times a year, but when I need it, I really need it, and it comes in very handy. This is what it looks like. It has quite a bit more weight to it than a pad sander, and it really does a great job of getting through an existing finish. This literally has a belt of sandpaper that rotates around as you are going across your piece of wood, and that is what sands it down. So it just has a bit more power, and your belts, you can get very heavy grits, so you can really sand through just about anything quite quickly. Just like most sanders, there is a trigger operation here. There's no secondary button, it just has a trigger. There are a couple modes of speed. On this one here, it is actually a wheel that I can rotate if I want it to go a bit faster or a bit slower. And there's also a lock button. You can hit that thumb lock button and it will stay on, so you don't have to be holding the trigger. That would be really helpful if you were sanding down an entire tabletop, or you really just wanted to keep going and you didn't want your finger to cramp from holding down the trigger. Also, like our other pad sander, there is a dust collecting bag. Some of these will work better than others depending on the brand of sander you use. This also will hook up to the shop vac if you would rather do that. What else here? There is a handle at the front here, which you hold with your left hand. Well, with my left hand, I'm right-handed. And with my right hand, I would pull the trigger. You do need a double hand grip here because this has a tendency as it moves across a piece of wood that it can kind of get away from you. So you do need a firm grip. You don't have to push down, but you do need to be sure you're in control of it, and be aware that as you turn it on and it hits the surface, it's gonna want to move forward because your belt is moving at such a fast rate of speed. Let me show you how to change a belt. I actually need to change this one. You can see that as you're sanding and getting down through a finish, your belt will sometimes become clogged. So if you get these black marks on there, that really won't come off. It doesn't work as well, and we need to change our belt. There is a switch here, and all you do is release your switch. It will loosen the belt and allow you to slide it right off, just like that. There are two standard sizes of belt sanders, an 18-inch and a 21-inch. Be sure you know which sandpaper your sander needs before you go to the hardware store. This one is an 18-inch. On the inside of your sandpaper, there is an arrow that indicates which direction it needs to go. Some of them have that, some of them don't, but be sure to look for it. This one has an arrow moving that direction. Now you line this up with an arrow on your sander. It shows which direction the sandpaper is going to move, and so we need those arrows going in the same direction for it to work properly. So you just line it up, be sure we're going the right way. We're gonna go this way. We will slide it on, get it centered in there, and then re-tighten our clamp. There you go again. Let me show you one more thing about adjusting your sandpaper. This is especially if you just put on a new pad. As your sander is on, it can move from side to side. There's a simple adjustment knob here that you can adjust, so you want it in the middle as much as possible. So what you do, you turn your sander upside down so it's not going anywhere. You're gonna push on the trigger with one hand, and then we're gonna make small adjustments here as it's on to bring our belt right in the center of the sanding pad. You'll know you've got it in the center when you keep it on and it just stays in place. It's not moving from one side to the other. And then you're all set to go. All right, let me show you how this works on this piece of wood here. Now, again, we talked about the belt is moving so quickly. If you've got just a piece of wood, it's gonna fly out of control here. So if you're working on a single piece of wood, be sure to use a clamp and clamp it to a surface where it's not gonna go anywhere. If you are working on a piece of furniture where this is, like I say, a tabletop, a desktop, your furniture is going to be sturdy enough that it's not going to move. Just be aware of that. Now, wear eye protection, ear protection, and a desk mask if you need it, because this can be a bit messy. All right, see how quickly it gets through that finish? And just like that, you can see how useful a belt sander can be. Also, don't forget that you could use it in place of a planer if you needed to smooth out a couple pieces of wood. It can really give you a nice smooth finish and cut through that wood rather quickly when you need it to. One other thing to keep in mind, I think it gives a really cool finish once you stain wood that has been sanded down with a belt sander. It's a little bit more rustic looking, but because of the belt sander just gives it a different finish than the pad sander. So play with that, because every once in a while on a piece of furniture, I really like the look that it gives. But I hope I helped take the scariness out of using a belt sander. Just be in control of it and get your muscles ready to really use it. All right, if you would like to see more power tool videos, you can check out this playlist here. And for more projects, including one that we used a belt sander on, you can check out this video right here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and we will see you next time.